You ever notice how the news cycle is like a circus with a clown car? Every week, a new crisis, a fresh outrage, some shiny distraction. And just like that, yesterday's major disaster disappears like a ghost in the fog. Here's the dirty little secret. No one talks about mass media wants you to forget critical issues, and they're damn good at it. The mainstream media isn't your friend. It's a business, a ratings-driven, click-chasing, advertising-pleasing, corporate-controlled beast. It does not want to solve problems. If it did, they'd keep talking about the same issues until something changed. But that's not what happens. Instead, they rotate topics like a DJ spinning, a tired record to keep you hooked but never satisfied. Why? Because drama sells, and you're their product. Take, for example, the failing American educational system. This isn't new. For decades, our schools have been sinking in mediocrity and neglect. Teachers underpaid, kids graduating without basic skills, schools in disrepair. But when was the last time you saw this as a front-page story for more than a day? The media talks about it when a test score drops or a scandal breaks. Then, poof, silence. Why? Because sustained attention on that problem would mean pressure to fix it, and nobody in power wants that spotlight. Or consider the criminal justice system. Mass incarceration, racial profiling, a revolving door of broken lives. This should be a national emergency screaming from every broadcast and headline, but it's not. One day it's protests in the streets, the next, it's some celebrity's latest scandal. News cycles move on, and so do most viewers. The media's tactic is to exhaust your outrage, then replace it with a fresh scandal that distracts you from the deep rot beneath the surface. Another classic example: climate change. The planet is literally on fire. Seas are rising. And yet how often does the media give you a thorough, consistent coverage that demands change? Instead, it's buried between entertainment gossip and celebrity drama. One day it's a catastrophic hurricane. Next week, it's a viral TikTok challenge. Why? Because climate change solutions mean inconvenient economic shifts. Big corporations don't want you distracted and informed at the same time. Let's talk about healthcare. The supposed right that half this country doesn't have. The media will cover a scandal here, a debate there, but no sustained focus on why millions can't afford medicine or why insurance companies act like predatory vultures. Instead, they feed you endless political squabbles designed to pit you against your neighbor rather than unite you for change. What's the common thread? It's not just about viewership. Yes, ratings matter. Headlines with blood, sex, or outrage bring eyeballs. But it's also about control. The powers that be don't want you too focused on issues that threaten their power or profits. So they manage the conversation. They give you just enough information to feel riled up, then pull the rug out from under you with a new shiny distraction. And there's more. Sometimes the media ignores issues because they're too controversial, too polarized. Think gun control, police brutality, or systemic racism. Those topics might trigger protests or unrest, so the media deliberately dials back coverage to avoid rocking the boat too hard. They don't want to lose advertisers or alienate key political allies. Sometimes the media is outright complicit, owned by conglomerates that profit from the very problems they pretend to report on. These companies influence the narrative, deciding which stories get airtime and which ones get buried. The result? A filtered, sanitized version of reality that keeps you compliant and confused. Even worse, some issues are simply inconvenient. Stories exposing corruption, cronyism, or abuses of power. They get buried under layers of legal wrangling or lost in a sea of trivial news. Reporters who try to dig deeper get shut down, discredited, or reassigned. And the effects? The average person thinks, oh, that problem must be fixed by now. I haven't heard about it. Or worse, they think, it's not that important. Meanwhile, the problems fester, worsen, and threaten the very fabric of society. Let me be crystal clear. This isn't just incompetence or laziness. It's deliberate. The media operates like a gatekeeper of your attention, and your attention is their currency. If you don't know what to focus on, if you forget yesterday's crises because today's distractions are louder, you lose the ability to demand real change. You end up a spectator in a circus of chaos, entertained, enraged for a moment, then lulled back to sleep. And that's exactly how they want it. But there is hope. You can choose not to fall for their game. You can dig deeper, seek multiple sources, and demand accountability not just from the media, but from those in power. You can raise your own standards, like I'm doing here, and refuse to be distracted by their circus. Because real change starts with clarity, and clarity starts with refusing to forget. Now, let's go deeper, because if you think that's the whole story, you're missing the forest for the trees. The education system. Why the media gives up. Why does education fall off the radar so fast? Because education reform threatens entrenched interests, unions, testing companies, budget bureaucracies. Media outlets don't want to take on the endless complexity of fixing education. It's easier to run a feel-good story about a teacher hero or a viral school prank. But the truth? Our kids are getting a raw deal. And we keep rotating away from that truth. Like a bad record nobody wants to listen to twice. The criminal justice system, more than just headlines. When stories about police brutality or wrongful convictions explode, the media runs with it for days. Then it disappears. Why? Because sustained coverage would reveal systemic racism baked into the system, and that scares advertisers and politicians alike. Instead, they swap the story for a celebrity scandal or some viral nonsense. The system remains intact, and people remain trapped in a cycle of injustice. Climate change, the slow burn they don't want you to see. Climate change is the slow-moving apocalypse no one wants to stare at too long. Media outlets are afraid that steady, in-depth coverage will prompt public demand for massive policy shifts. Shifts that threaten oil companies, coal barons, and their political puppets. Instead, they give you a headline about a new hurricane, then move on to the Kardashians. Healthcare, the silent crisis. Every year, tens of thousands die because they can't afford basic care. This should be a front-page primetime issue every single day. But instead, the media focuses on political theater. Who said what? Which bill passed? Which politician lost their cool? The real human suffering, you don't see that on your feed. Why some issues are too hot to handle. Certain topics are deliberately toned down. Why? Because the media fears protests, backlash, and losing sponsors. Systemic racism, gun violence, economic inequality. They're touchy subjects, and media companies don't want to lose the comfort of their corporate backing. Corporate influence when media and money marry. Media conglomerates own not just news outlets, but industries that benefit from the status quo. They push narratives that protect their other business interests. This creates a filter where stories that challenge the system get buried. Don't expect your local news to give you the whole picture. Journalistic integrity versus corporate demands. Reporters who try to break tough stories often find their hands tied by editors who worry about lawsuits, advertiser backlash, or political pressure. Those who push too hard get marginalized or pushed out. So the news you get is often watered down and sanitized. The weaponization of distraction. They use sensationalism, celebrity gossip, and outrage porn to keep you hooked. It's not just about ratings. It's a strategy to ensure you don't focus on the things that matter. Final thought. If you're tired of being played by the media's circus act, it's time to wise up. Demand better, question everything, and never let the spotlight shift away from what really matters. The truth isn't going to come gift-wrapped in a headline. You have to dig for it. And when you do, you'll see the world the way it really is. Messy, flawed, and crying out for change. But change only happens if you refuse to forget.
Truth has a voice. Analytical.vip. Join the movement.